It is shown that biracial children are prone to experiencing unique challenges like discrimination regarding racial self-identification.
How do parents navigate these issues, especially the parents that are white and may not have had to deal with those problems themselves? In this month's segment of Roundtable with Rhea, I spoke to members of the community that are biracial, as well as white parents of biracial children, about how families can bridge cultural gaps to build a positive racial identity in their kids.
Discussions about race can be a bit different for multiracial families. This adds another layer of complexity when it comes to navigating issues of race and racism. So how do families navigate these dynamics?
When I was growing up, my mother raised me. She is a white female. I was always accepted in the household. It was more so even when I went with my, black side. I'm not black enough for that. I'm not white enough for this. So I was always in the mix.
I asked one of the parents about participating in this conversation, and her response was, I never thought anyone ever looked at our side. And I just want to know, what does that side look like from you all?
I will never know what it means to be black. However, I do live it every day, through seeing how my spouse encounters the world and how my children encounter the world. They're part of me. I mean, I gave birth to these children. They are my flesh and blood. So when they go through things, I go through them.
Do you feel that you had to unpack any internalized whiteness or colorblindness when you became a parent raising a biracial child? And in what ways did you have to examine your own biases?
When I was raised, my parents really didn't talk about race. I wasn't raised in a home with racism, but I also wasn't raised in a home where I was educated on racism. I didn't really experience it. I had a doctor that, my son was a year old, and she came into the room with us, and the first question she asked me is if I adopted him. And then the next question, when I told her no, I gave birth to him, was, do I know who his father is? With the perception that if my son's biracial, I don't know who the father is. I became aware of just how much race played a role in so many things that my whole childhood I didn't understand.
How should parents confront or interrupt racism in their extended family, schools, their community, regarding their children?
It should be dealt with immediately and clearly. I don't tolerate anyone misusing my child in any way, because I'm his mom, and that's my job. So period.
That's what we need to be as parents, the biggest advocate for our children.
How important is it for white parents of biracial children to educate themselves, and what resources should parents be utilizing to support their children in understanding their identities?
Ask questions. Ask your kids how they feel. Ask your kids what is being said at school. Like I said, there are a lot of jokes right now. Tons of social media. They have access to so much, but you do too. Yeah. Look it up and talk to your kids about it. Keep them included with both communities.
I try to have a lot of really open conversations with him, and if I don't know, I reach out to my resources, other people that are black, males, or females, because I don't always have the answer, and recognizing I don't have the answer is important for me.
It's hard to acknowledge that you might not have all the answers.
Right.
And I think that's amazing that you are outsourcing. I don't know the answer.
I don't know what it's like to be a man, and I don't know, I guess, like to be black. So, but I know people that do.